in search of peace. The eyeless ant moves in search of peace. In short, the whole world is running in search of peace. So they are running in search of peace. They are running around in search of peace means they want to live. So we have no right. We have no right to destroy their life. So whether you are a Buddhist or not Buddhist, it will be wonderful if you stop unnecessarily killing insects or birds or animals. Unnecessary killing. Sometimes, we are very fond of just killing. Killing like that. It's not a good idea. Prevention is better than cure. So you can prevent many of these things. Of course, you have to protect yourself, but it's better to prevent them before they come, rather than eliminate them after they are already there. And in Buddhist teaching, it clearly says, the more you save life of other sentient beings, the more you live longer. This is law of karma, law of nature. The more you harm and destroy life, the more your life will be short, because you experience the fruit exactly according to the course that you do. Okay. For example, in this life, I'm not going to elaborate, but if you read about these 10 virtuous practices and non-virtuous practices in Buddhism, it clearly says, for example, in this life also, for example, say in a marriage, there are people who get divorced several times, or who have husband and wife who they can't trust. According to Buddhist teaching, they say that this is because in the past lives also you did the same thing. So as a result, you get the same thing. Or in the past life, you are very fond of telling lies and cheating people. Then as a result, you will be born in a place where the climate is not so good, where it's full of like famine and flood, dirt and bugs and, difficult life. Many people are born there, you see. Some people are born in a very nice place, some people are born in a very difficult place, but they have to somehow, nobody forced them to stay there, but they are compelled to live there. Like, for example, look what is happening in Nepal. And in very remote areas, they are just living under big snow mountains and things like that, where there's a lot of, what do you call it, rocks coming down and glaciers coming down, you see. They know it is there, but still somehow because of the force of karma, they think it should be okay this time, it should be okay this time. So it's not okay. It comes down and kills them, you see. That's the meaning of karma. And you live in a house where you see a big crack there, but still you stay there thinking, no, it should be okay, should be okay. Then one day it falls down, it's not okay, you see. That's called karma. You think you are making a choice, you see. But when the force of karma is there, there's not much you can do. There's not much you can do. So therefore, it is important to understand this, the function of law of karma, if we want that long-lasting peace and happiness. All right, there are so many things to say, but we need to move. The actual practice, training, the conventional launch. So this must be this text is from where? Okay. It looks like something is missing from this text.
Do you have this part also? This you mean? You have this?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. 2A, 2B. Acha. So actually in the text, the first it talks about the ultimate awakening mind. Not the, I mean there are different ways. Sometimes they talk about the conventional awakening mind first. But in this particular text that I'm using, it talks about the training in the ultimate awakening mind first.
So you can start with us.
Yeah, I can start from there, yeah. So which is the last page then? There, okay. So with regard to, so now we are talking about, out of the 7 point, we are talking about the second point, which is training in the two minds as the actual practice. Okay, the actual practice of training in the cultivation of the two minds. Two minds means ultimate bodhicitta and conventional bodhicitta. So in the case of cultivation of these two minds in the continuum of one person, first you enter into meditative equipoise. Then you undertake the practice during the post-meditative period. So therefore, the ultimate bodhicitta is taught first. From the parlance that first you enter into meditation on emptiness. Okay. Then after you get up from the meditation, you engage in your different activities in your life. Then you try to continuously practice the influence of that meditation on emptiness. So this is how explained in this particular text. So with regard to your practice of the ultimate bodhicitta, it is done through two levels. One, practice that you do during the meditative state, and two, the practice that you do during the post-meditative state. Okay? Now, before you do the practice during the meditative state, there are certain preparations that you need to do. That means the preparation is that in a temple or a clean place, you should first practice the 7-limb practice. 7-limb practice. You know the 7-branch practice? 7-limb practice. First is prostration. You do prostration. Second is making offerings. Third is confession. Fourth is rejoicing. Fifth is requesting the teacher to give the teaching. Sixth is requesting him to not to pass away, because the teacher is important. We request them, like we make long life offering to His Holiness. So requesting the teacher to stay. And then the 7th is dedication. So this is called 7-limb practice. Huh? It is there? Yeah.
We have it.
Okay, you have it.
Page
Oh, wonderful.
16.
Okay. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time explaining this in detail. So you do that, and then you make supplication to the deities or the lamas, and then in your meditation home, meditation house, if you have a separate meditation, it's okay. If you don't have, then maybe you choose one of the corner in your house. It should be a place which is inviting, and the cushion, the seat, the rear side should be slightly higher, so that when you do the meditation you don't get easily tired. Okay. And then on this meditation seat, you observe certain posture. We call it 7 Vairochana posture. 7 Vairochana posture means that your head should be straight, your whole body should be straight, but not rigid, not uptight, not rigid, relaxed, but straight. Head should not be on this way or that way, or this way or that way. If your head is more on the right side, it is said to produce hatred, anger. If your head is more on the left side, it is said to induce attachment. If your head is more front, it will induce sleepiness. So normally when you sleep, you know this, you sleep like this. And if your head is too much back, it will induce arrogance, as I already explained. So therefore your head should not be on the four sides, but straight, but not rigid, as I said. Okay? And then your eyes should not be too widely open as if you are searching something, but also not completely closed. Normally when you do meditation, people normally close their eye. But because when you close eye, you feel that you can do your meditation easier, because your eyes don't see anything, so therefore the mind doesn't chase the object. So you feel it is good. But in the long run, probably it is not very good, because this meditation has to be done wherever you go, and you cannot go everywhere with closed eyes. In the market you go closed eye, then you will fall. You see? So your eye, even when your eye is slightly open, not trying to see things, but when it's open, but still you should have such a control of your mind that the mind does not chase the object that the eye sees. Because you don't want to see anything, therefore you close eye. Then that means you close everything. You close ear also, because sound also is distracting. Close your nose also. Clear? So even when your ear is open, eyes open, smelling, but still you make sure that the mind does not attracted to the objects within the purview of these senses. So that seems difficult, but when you get more trained, then you can do it. For example, sometimes when you are watching a very gripping movie, you are completely kind of mesmerized. Wow, action movie or whatever, And then people go in front of you. You are actually looking, but you have no idea who went. You see? It can happen, you see. It can happen. When your mind is totally focused, you cannot be easily distracted. I have some Tibetan teachers. I know some Tibetan teachers who say that they lived. There's one particular teacher who is now no more, very famous teacher who passed just 1 or 2 years back. He said in the beginning, when he was much younger, he lived in Calcutta, which is a very noisy town, noisy city. But he said, for me it is good, because I do my work and then go back to my room and close the room, and I stay in peace. Nobody can disturb me, you see. So when you decide, when your mind decides to choose certain thing, you can remain focused there without much distractions. That is what we need to achieve. Because you cannot close everything. You cannot stop the outside intrusion. But you should prepare your mind in such a way that you are not affected by those intrusions. I remember very well when the cable television came to India. India is a very traditional society. And when the cable TV came, and suddenly in the family where there's so much tradition, you have on your television everything there, naked women singing, dancing, or whatever, Then many of these small conservative people, they got horrified. So what is this now? How can we stop this? We need to stop all this. So then a question was asked by somebody, I remember very well, a question was asked to his elders. What should we do with this kind of thing? Shall we stop those things? So they said, yes, you can stop these things, but that's not the solution. That's not the solution. The solution is that you should give proper education to the young people, even elderly people, what is really important in life. If you have that proper perspective, proper education, then outside distractions will not be able to hamper you. You see? So that's why we can see the more grown-up elderly people are not so distracted as young people, because they have some more experience and more sense of what life is and so forth. And young people do not have that, so therefore they easily get distracted. You see? So therefore this giving proper perspective and mental education is the key thing. Okay. So what I was saying was, okay, your head straight, shoulders also straight, not lopsided, and then your hand in this posture at the level of the navel. That will help you straighten your back a little bit, like this. And then your eye gazes a little bit downwards, as I said earlier, not trying to see anything but in a natural way. And then your tongue should touch the palate. That will help you not to get thirsty, and also it will help you not to have your saliva fall from your mouth. Okay. And then your feet should be in a cross-legged posture. And what else? I think that's all.
Elbows.
Huh?
Elbows.
Huh?
Elbows to the side.
Elbows, when we talk about the shoulder, I think it's taken care of. Yeah. So then, those of us who are not familiar with meditation, then we can start meditation watching on one's breath, as I briefly touched this morning. Just be aware of the breath, that it is going out, is coming in, going out, coming in, as many times as you feel comfortable. So that will calm your mind. That will calm your monkey mind. Because the mind is wild. It cannot stay calm even for a moment. How many things are coming in my mind? Once somebody came to me and said, Geshe, before I meditated, I was a nice person. After I meditated, I became a bad person. Then I said, how? Then he said, before I meditated, all these negative thinkings were not coming in my mind. After I meditated, so many negative and other thoughts are coming in my mind. But I said, no, this is not the case. These negative thinkings and other thoughts have been coming. But before you meditated, you have no idea. You never checked who is coming, who is going. You took it for granted. You took it for granted, thinking this is a natural process. Why should I care, you see? But now, because you have meditated, you have started seeing who is coming, who is going. That's a very good progress. You have started seeing who is coming, who is going. Just like you watch your house, who is coming, who is going. Nowadays we even put television, a spy camera to see who is coming and who is going. So we should put that spy camera in the mind and see who is coming, who is going. When the negative emotions are coming, then say, sorry, no room for you. That's what many of these Buddhist teachers, they say. That the time that you negative emotions have cheated me was the time of the past. Now I know who you are. Now I know who you are. Enough is enough. No room for me. Don't come. Get lost. You should be tough. Anger, jealousy, hatred. You have done a lot of destruction to me, to my family, to the country, to the whole world. Isn't this true? These negative emotions have done a lot of destruction. Isn't this true? So now you should say enough is enough. Gone are the days when I did not know you, that you are destructive, you destroyed me. Now I know who you are. So no room for me, in me. Don't come, get lost. That's called practice. When the positive emotions like love, compassion and bodhicitta, when you think about this, then I'm sorry, I did not recognize you. You're so useful, you're so precious. I never invited you. So please come in, please welcome. Sit in my mind, sit in my head. So that's called practice. The other day I said it's like election. So now I'm saying it's like a guest, the good like. So Buddhist practice is like making friendship. When you meet somebody for the first time, that person really looks nice, looks very lovely, very nice. But the more you spend time with that person, the more that person shows his or her ugliness. The more you will distance yourself from that person. Ah, this woman looks very nice, but she is very cunning. Oh, this man, he looks nice, but he is very cunning. So you distance yourself from that person. The more you know the ugliness. Similarly, the more you know the goodness of the person, the more you become closer and closer into your friend. So similarly, the more you know the ugliness of the destructive emotions, the more you should distance yourself from their influence. The more you know about the good qualities of these positive emotions, the more you make friendship with them, invite them. That is called Buddhist practice. Does it make sense? That's called Buddhist practice. It's not like praying somebody and will shower upon you blessing and boom, you enlightenment. That's not what is primarily taught in Buddhism. Okay. So therefore, here it says you make supplication to the lamas and the deities to give you inspiration. And then in your meditation seat, sit on a comfortable seat in a cross-legged posture with the other physical postures that I've explained. And then you count 21 times your breath, going out, coming in, going out, coming in. So in one of these meditations that you do in the morning and in the evening, you can do that 21 times and see. The purpose of doing such a meditation is that prepares you as a suitable basis for doing the actual meditation. Because if you don't settle down the disturbing thought, the thought is everywhere. So many thoughts are coming, as I said. So first thing you need to do is pacify these thoughts, settle these thoughts. So that's why we talk about these two practices, two meditations called Shamat and Vipassana. You know about this? Shamat and Vipassana. Shamat has been literally translated as calm abiding meditation. Calm abiding meditation. That means first calm your mind of the invasions of the discursive negative thoughts. Calm, abiding, calm the mind from the invasion of discursive thoughts, and then abide on the chosen object. If your mind is disturbed, how can you meditate? Okay, that's called calm abiding, shamat. And then vipassana. Then there is a possibility to see the greater depth of the reality, insight, get more insight through analytical meditation. So, by meditating on the breath, you prepare yourself as a suitable basis for concentration. Then for the actual practice, there are many ways of doing it. One is you meditate on all phenomena as having no independent existence, meditation on emptiness at one go. Okay. But if we do it one by one systematically, it will be more effective. So the text says, when stability has been attained, impart the secret teaching. That we already read, I think. When stability has been attained, impart the secret teachings. Through these practices of watching on the breath, when some kind of stability has been attained, then you can do the practice of these secret teachings of meditation on ultimate bodhicitta and so forth. So consider all phenomena as like dreams. So that means this is meditation primarily regarding the objects that the mind perceives. Consider all phenomena means all phenomena that the mind perceives. See all these phenomena like a dream. When you don't analyze, they all look concrete, objective, existing independently from its own side. But if you analyze them very carefully, there's not much essence in it. There's nothing having inherent or independent existence. So that's the meaning. Consider all phenomena as like dreams. Whether it's the external environment or the sentient beings within that environment, they appear to us because of our mistaken state of mind. And apart from what the mind perceives, they do not have speck of existence from their own side. Now, if that is the reality of the phenomena that is perceived by the mind, what about the mind itself? Examine the nature of unborn awareness. Unborn awareness means the mind. The mind, the awareness which is perceiving all phenomena as like dream. This mind itself, the nature of this mind itself is unborn. Unborn in the sense it does not have inherent or independent existence. Because in the case of the mind, if you think properly about the mind, and then what was past is gone, no more there, and what is future is not there, it's yet to come. And when you talk about the present, also how can you find that present? How can you find that present? You can split it to a very tiny fraction. And even that tiny fraction should have past and future. So it's very difficult to pinpoint something that could be identified as present, you see. It's a relative thing. So in this way, when you analyze the nature of the mind, you won't find it. A mind having inherent or independent existence from its side. And not only that, when you talk about the mind, it does not have a color. It's non-physical, it's shapeless. And you cannot say that this mind is really abiding in this part of the body. So in this way, when you analyze, it's difficult to identify it. It does not have a primordial existence. So that's the meaning of examine the nature of unborn awareness. Just as you have seen the dreamlike state of all the objects that you have perceived, the mind also has a similar nature. Then what about the remedy? What about the antidote, the counterforce that you have cultivated for removing afflicting emotions? The remedy, that antidote, is also a mind. So therefore it also does not have inherent existence. The remedy itself is released in its own place, means in its own place if you analyze what's the nature of the remedy, what is the nature of the counterforce.